boys and girls. I hope you're doing wonderful today. I hope you enjoyed the holiday on yesterday. Do you know what the holiday was yesterday? I'll give you a hint. You know this man? If you said Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., then you are correct. In January, on the 15th, we celebrate his birthday. But on January the 18th, we celebrate the holiday. So I'm going to read you this story. Happy birthday, Martin Luther King. And this is the front of our book. This is the spine of our book. And this is the back of our book. So before we get into the stories, boys and girls, I hope you took some time out today, yesterday, and every day to follow the examples of Martin Luther King by doing something nice and being nice to someone and spreading love and looking out for one another. There's a whole lot of stuff going on in the world today, and I know you've seen things on TV where people rioting, and we want to do stuff peaceful and get along with one another. So I hope that you're getting along at home with your siblings and being a great child for your parents. Okay, let's get into our story. Happy birthday, Martin Luther King. The story was written by Jean Marzullo and illustrated by Brian Pinkney. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15th, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. His parents loved him very much. Martin Luther King had the same name as his father, except one thing: his father was called Martin Luther King Sr., and Martin was called Martin Luther King Jr. Now, some of you little boys out there might be named after your father. And if you're named after your father, then you are a junior, and your father be the senior because he's the oldest. Martin went to elementary school, high school, and college in Atlanta. He was a good student, and later he went to Divinity School in Pennsylvania. Martin became a pastor just like his dad, and at the Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta. They were both called the Reverend Martin Luther King Sr. and the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. So both of them were preachers. Martin's job as a minister was to help people in need. He visited sick people in the hospital and made them feel better. See, right now in the pandemic, you can't visit anyone in the hospital. So things are a little different now. He asked people not to fight each other. He said that there were peaceful ways to solve problems. So boys and girls, can you tell me some peaceful ways that you have solved problems. Maybe you and your sibling were fighting over a toy. Did y'all resolve the issue peacefully? The best way to do that is to share. That will be doing it peacefully. The Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. is famous because he helped our country change some of its laws. A law is like a rule. Like we have rules at school. Once there was a rule in some places that said only white people could sit in the front of a bus and black people had to sit in the back. Martin Luther King said this law Martin Luther King said that this law needed to be changed, and Rosa Parks and other people helped them change it. Now all the people can sit in any empty seat that they like. So I know when you get on the school bus, we can sit anywhere that we like, but we have assigned seats with our pictures on our buses for your safety. Once there was a law in some places that said that African Americans could use only certain restaurants and drinking fountains. Martin Luther King and many other people helped change these laws. Now all the people can share the same restaurants and drinking fountains. Once there was a law in some places that said that black children and white children couldn't go to school together. Martin Luther King and other people, including many very brave children, had this law changed too. Now black children and white children can go to school together. Now in school we have children of all races together in one classroom. Martin Luther King had a special talent for leadership. When he spoke, people listened. Poor people, rich people, white people, black people, and people from all around the world listened when Martin Luther King spoke. Many helped him work, march, sing, and pray for justice. In the summer of 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. gave the most famous speech of his life. He gave it outdoors to 250,000 people who had come to Washington, D.C. to ask the president for jobs and freedom for black people. In his speech, Martin Luther King said that he had a dream. His dream was that people everywhere would learn to live together without being mean to one another. Boys and girls, and we're still trying to live that dream where we can live together, not being mean to one another. Martin Luther King Jr. was shot and killed in 1968 because he loved poor people so much. He was given a special funeral in Atlanta, Georgia, where he was born. His body was put in a simple farm cart and pulled slowly by 2 mules to a cemetery. Thousands of people walked behind Martin in a sad, loving parade. On his gravestone were carved these beautiful words: "Free at last, free at last. I'm free at last." Martin Luther King wanted people to be able to go places together, share food together, love one another in peace, because he worked so hard for freedom and helped so many people gain it. We honor him every year on his special day We call this day Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And we say to him, happy birthday, Martin Luther King. The end. So boys and girls, this week, we want you to do something nice for someone in your family, and then share it with us. And let us know what you did. Okay? Enjoy the rest of your day.